It's so bad. Like, they put such little effort into this. There is so little effort here in everything they did. It's just insulting.
They basically had a concept for a AAA game, and then they just padded it out too much, thinking that people would just consume slop. I feel that this is the one game that will not die. Ironically, it being called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, as we know, this was a game that was hyped up for years. It was made by Rocksteady, the people behind the Batman Arkham games, one of the most loved franchises out there. And then Kill the Justice League came out, and it was a game. It was definitely a game. Me and many other streamers rushed to beat the game in a single sitting, and it was one of the worst decisions I ever made.
This is some bullshit. Got my daughter a Wonder Woman shirt last Christmas.
Deadshot not bring up his daughter challenge. Actually impossible. Just so stupid, man. Yeah, gonna kill him, sure. Here comes Superman. Superman's gonna come now. So the problem is with Suicide Squad, it's in a really bad position, right? It was a huge game, insane budget. Warner Brothers pumped millions and millions of dollars into it, and then the game died. If you look at Steam charts right now, despite this being a game that was meant to go on for years with battle passes and seasons and cosmetics and unlockables, there are 200 people playing the game right now. 200. So this is, if you couldn't tell, this is quite bad. So they've been left in a very awkward position because people that bought the special edition of the game, they paid a bit more money. People like me, you were promised 4 seasons for free, included, well, not free, but included with the price. But Rocksteady don't want to work on the game anymore because it was such a catastrophic failure. But as an obligation, and because they don't want to give out refunds to people, they are going to do these 4 seasons. Now, originally, I think they were meant to be 8 or 9 seasons. If you guys remember, when you reach the end of the game, which I did on stream, again, in a single sitting, I never should have done that, you fight the big bad guy, Brainiac, and then you find out, wait, there's like 9 other Brainiacs across different dimensions, and you need to go into each dimension and fight him again to be able to properly beat the game. And that's how the seasons were set up. You'd get a new character that you could play as, and then a new Brainiac to fight. Obviously, with how completely dead the game is now, there's no way they're going to do that, like, you know, 8 or 9 season obligation that they had originally, but they have promised to do 4 seasons as an obligation because that was on their roadmap. And again, people did pay for that. So if you guys remember, the first season, you got the Joker, but he wasn't voiced by Mark Hamill, so no one cared.
Put it in me. Oh, mate, bloody hell.
And then season 2, we got a gender swap of Mr. Freeze, now being Mrs. Freeze. Again, this was a character that no one really cared about that much.
Mrs. Freeze, the second playable character, was also just like, it was kind of a needless gender swap in my opinion, and she didn't really do anything that interesting, but more than anything, she was just bored.
She does have a fat ass, though. So she gets a pass in my book. So we're already halfway through, and one of the worst revelations is the game is called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. The entire point of the main game was killing the Justice League. Well, in season 2, after the Joker with Mrs. Freeze, people quickly realized, oh my god, they were actually clones. All of the heroes we took on and killed across the game were just clones made by Brainiac, so there was no real stakes at all, because in season 2 with Mrs. Freeze, you end up saving the Flash.
Oh, wow. I really used to get it winded. Hey, shouldn't you all be in jail?
The hell are you idiots doing?
And that annoyed the 7 people that still play the game unironically, because again, there were these like amazingly rote cutscenes just demonstrating how much impact there would be of killing superheroes that people grew up with.
Brainiac's going to transform Earth into a new Kolu.
Of course we'll have to kill every man, woman, and child to do it, even the dogs.
Barry! Please, tell me how.
Harry!
You have to kill us, Diana. We have to die to save the world.
Barry.
But yeah, the game cost $200 million to make, and it had less of an impact than reporting someone in Elden Ring. Again, this was a game that was delayed. It was meant to come out in 2023, delayed again, and then it eventually came out earlier this year. And the problem is, Rocksteady, who made these insanely good Batman games, that's mostly melee focused. I mean, okay, Batman has a grappling hook and a little batarang that he can throw and you can control, but it mostly is a melee combat game. And then they did this huge switch to a third-person shooter, and it didn't translate very well. I mean, honestly, a lot of people hate the game. I thought it was okay. The main problem with it was grindy. They genuinely thought this would be a game that would last like as long as Rainbow Six Siege, something people would be playing for the next decade or so. And because of that, they made the game insanely grindy. I still remember, like, at the last act of the game, whenever you needed to progress the story, you had to do like a bunch of side content just to be able to unlock another mission. Like, that sucks. No one wants to do that. I do get it, right? Streamers are worms. We rush to the end of a game, killing any kind of joy we could have had for content to get it out first. But at the same time, there are people that just want to play through the game at their own pace. Maybe they don't want to engage with the side content, especially if it's incredibly grindy. Also, what didn't help is some of the bigger heads that actually worked on the Batman games, in question Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker. They departed pretty early on in development. And then when they started their new company, 100 Star Games, they ended up actually poaching a lot of the employees from Rocksteady. Well, it's not really poaching if you work with them anyway, but you know what I mean. But yeah, a lot of the developers left before the game even began production, so you can really tell that even though it has the name Rocksteady behind it, these aren't the same people that made the Batman games. So, like I said, they dropped Season 2 back in July, and it did not help the game's success at all. Honestly, at this point, the only... I said this on stream, right? The only way you could save the game right now, which you can't save it, is to add the Joker, voiced by Mark Hamill, or you add Terry McGinnis, who was Batman Beyond. And he would actually have to be voiced by the same actor that played Terry McGinnis in the show. But no, instead we get off-brand Jonkler. I'm not even going to call him Joker. We get Mrs. Freeze, who, to be fair, does have a fat ass. That's like the only real benefit of her character. And then when they released these characters as well, they had like disgustingly overpriced skins that were like $10 or $15 a piece. Now, I do want to give a little bit of sympathy to Rocksteady. On the lead up to Season 3, Rocksteady was hit with an insane amount of layoffs due to incredibly poor sales of Suicide Squad. And this really does show. There's a lot of cutscenes in Season 3 where your characters say absolutely nothing because they couldn't get anyone to come back into the office and record the lines. They probably couldn't afford them. And more importantly as well, you've got more characters you can swap out now than the main four, for example, Joker and Mrs. Freeze. So in cutscenes, they just stand around looking very awkwardly, not even being animated in the face at all. They look like Roblox NPCs.
Can I get a hand up? Since we're all working together now?
Do they talk? Please tell me they talk. Wow. Oh, it's so emotionless as well. Like, they're all straight facing. I get it. It's a skeleton crew. I get it. But that, man, that's like going into a tavern in Skyrim and just seeing someone drinking a mead. Even the senior management said, and I'm quoting them right here, the current reconstructing of the company will result in a lower quality product. So even they're admitting what they're putting out right now is slop. They are putting out like PyroLIVE levels of slop. It is sad though. Like, I don't want to be the person that's dancing on a grave because, again, it's like, you know, this included junior staff and then people that have probably been working at Rocksteady for years and years. But finally, they delivered. Rocksteady gave us Season 3, and it introduces a brand new character called Lawless. Have you heard of Lawless? No, you probably haven't, even if you're like a comic book nerd, because they don't exist. She's a character basically invented by the writers for the game. She's Deadshot's daughter, which I don't mind. But the thing I do mind is her entire personality is she's an influencer. So she'll be going around the city, killing monsters while live streaming it. Again, it's just sad, man. Like, I'm looking at Steam charts now. There's like 250 people playing the game. And when the game came out, it had 13,000 players. And it probably really should have just gone up from there with the amount of content they were planning to put out. But yeah, I honestly feel really sad for Rocksteady. I have no idea what they're going to put out for Season 4. I don't know what new hero they're going to put out because that is their final obligation, because I think right now they're all busy remastering Hogwarts Legacy, a game that has thousands of people playing it right now, which is an incredibly high number compared to the amount of people playing Suicide Squad. But yeah, I'm wondering what they put in as the final character. Maybe they just add Jonkler. Like, I'm not even talking about like the Joker we got. I'm talking about like the actual Jonkler meme that everyone keeps reposting on TikTok. Another thing I am really concerned about though, and I do mention this on stream, is, you know, you can save the heroes, right? So far it's Season 3. You've saved the Flash and you've saved Green Lantern, right? And they do have their own voice lines. They have like a sentence or two recorded before you save them. And one thing I noticed is if you look at the pods, you've got Superman, Wonder Woman, who died. She was never actually infected by Brainiac, so I'm not really sure how you can save her. And Batman, which makes me think Rocksteady at the minute might actually be sat on like a couple of sentences from Kevin Conroy that he recorded for this DLC before he passed away. Rest in peace. So genuinely, I think the only good thing that could come from season 4 is the inclusion of possibly saving Batman, which then means the internet is going to be able to get access to possibly one of the last things Kevin Conroy recorded before he passed away. Honestly, I have no idea what they're going to do for season 4. I feel like they might try to wrap it up and you rescue the last 3 heroes that have been like, you know, contaminated by Brainiac or died. But if those pods remain empty and they don't make any more content, that is really going to suck. All right, we got one more video. Suicide Squad. So there's this guy called Luke Stevens, and he's been pretty up to date on the coverage for Suicide Squad's game, Kill the Justice League. They've added another character, and I'm not joking you, it's even worse.
Let me explain what's happening. Season 3 is dropping. They're adding a new playable character called Lawless. And if you're confused...
Was Lawless part of the comics? I mean, probably. Zoe Lawton. Okay, I guess that's her. Is that her? I mean, I guess so. So it was an actual character. The daughter of Deadshot. Her father is a ruthless killer with a death wish. Her Prime Earth counterpart is known as Live Shot. God, that's awful. What a terrible name. Yeah, there's so many comic book characters you forget about because they're just terrible. Lawless is not a real character. I just wanted to double check because I know these names sound ridiculous and then you find out it was a character that had one comic in the 70s.
Totally fine. It seems like most people I know who are really into comic books and DC also have no idea who Lawless is. So allow me to...
Okay, he checked as well, so yeah.
...read off the description they've written for this new character. Bear in mind, this game is struggling. They needed to come out swinging with a...
I'll be honest, it's not struggling, it's dead. They can't save the game. They genuinely, like, in the nicest way possible, they cannot save this game. It's not possible. So what they're doing is they're just cutting their losses. They're putting in whatever they want now because they don't really have any... They're not worried about being cancelled or people calling the game woke. They don't care. So... It's just a sinking ship, so they're doing what they want. There's no character they could add in this game. Honestly, unless they added Kevin Conroy as Batman that you could play as, this game won't be saved. Or Mark Hamill as Joker. This game won't be saved. That's impossible. Obviously, Mark Hamill is dead. Rest in peace. But I did mention this actually in my previous video. You can save the Avengers. You can save the Justice League. You can save them. And you can talk to them. So they've obviously recorded new lines of dialogue, or they've been sitting on old ones. So there might still be some Kevin Conroy. There might still be some Kevin Conroy lines that haven't that haven't been recorded yet. Sorry, that haven't been released yet.
Let's see how they're gonna do it.
Wait, did I say Mark Hamill died? No, I meant Kevin Conroy. The Joker actor is alive and well, but he said he's not working as the Joker anymore because he feels like he can't do it without Kevin Conroy.
Hopefully not too cringe, right? Let's see. The first sentence. One of Gotham's newest and most ethical thieves. Ethical...
Metro's booming. You know what's funny? You know how I keep saying stuff wrong? Look who he's featuring with. Look who he's featuring with. Triple red. Lawless is determined to use the skills of a master criminal that her father taught her to redistribute the wealth in her hometown. She's sending a message to the people of Gotham that they don't have to live in fear of the city's out-of-touch elites any longer. And her method of spreading this message is to live stream her heists. Dude. Wait, she's a live streamer? She's actually a streamer. Okay, I didn't even care about the whole wealth thing. That's fine. But don't make her a fucking TikToker, man. Every time she brutally murders an alien, it's like, yo, thanks for the 5. Zoe's father is Floyd Lawton, Deadshot. Zoe eagerly devoured any lesson her dad would teach her, exhibiting the same drive of pragmatism. Father's crimes, while the privileged class. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. That's why Batman exists. When Brainiac invades Metropolis... he's brought along with him. Lawless is unable to resist the allure of the heist of the century by grabbing as much tech and selling it to the highest bidder. She's got anti-gravity tech that she stole. So basically, she has no abilities. She just stole tech from Brainiac. The influencer... Oh, God. Dude, the word influencer was like a black stain on the internet from like 2010. The influencer playstyle sees Lawless amp things up with a focus on afflicting enemies with live wire bolt, as well as slowing enemies down using her unique talents with shock and awe. Melee kills will electrify all enemies within 10 meters, allowing for some major critical damage. The multitasker talent gives your melee strikes 50% to send enemies flying back. Revolutionary Thief. Season 3 will see you return to Gotham. Oh, that's right. Every season, they end up changing the map a little bit as well. Like with the Mrs. Freeze, it was all frozen. Holy crap. Look at all the detail on that gun, but you can't see it because the game is third person. Great. Dude, this looks like every Warzone gun imaginable, dude. I mean, they look cool, but it's a third-person game. They're just adding like a bunch of new abilities. God, they added a lot. Wow, these skins look awful. Modern classics. None of those look good. None of those look good. The very bottom, they had a pumpkin skin that looked cool. Not reinstalling the game, though.
It is such a parody of itself. I can't even tell if they're being serious or not anymore, but I'm pretty sure they're being serious.
The Deadshot one looked cool. Yeah, I wasn't even looking at his, to be fair, because I just never play as him. I only played as King Shark. But his was the most acceptable, definitely.
Yes. And to prove that they're being serious, I'm going to make you watch the opening of Season 3, which I had to sit through when I booted this up on stream earlier today. Just take this in. Take this in. I'll play the clip.
Wait, let me try and find this, actually. I traveled through the UK to fix my social anxiety.
I have social anxiety. I could give you a general
The Pyro viewer, what the hell? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's give it a watch. I like how none of it's animated as well because they ran out of budget, so it's all funny still frames. Oh my god. Dude, it's not even the official channel. Leave this guy alone. So many dislikes.
I'm Lawless. The lawbreakers already know what I'm about. But luckily for newbies, this is a good jumping on point. I did the whole Robin Hood thing in Gotham a while.
I feel so sorry for this girl because she's probably going to get no work for how she's going to get like a horde of people like stalk her and harass her for being in such a dog-ass game. Also, only 40 subs out of 1,000. Unlucky. You can so tell whoever wrote this bit just watched Pokemon and no one else.
That iceberg lounge party heist? Me and mine. Now, Metropolis is under siege and it's being suppressed in media. I had to get in there and do something. Okay, I had some help from the Suicide Squad. Thanks, Dad. Shot. Anyway, Brainiac's been doing this mega colonizing shtick.
Who does this apply to, man? Who does this apply to? No one sees a streamer and thinks, "Oh, that's cool." People see a streamer and think, you're a fucking loser. Also, notice how there's someone begging for a collab down below. Okay, I'll give them that. That's pretty accurate. You've got an e-beggar in chat. That's actually pretty accurate.
I have something to show y'all straight from Brainiac's lab.
Oh, her sub number jumped up quite a bit there. She might... Yo, look at that. Look how quick it's jumping up.
Brainiac's been doing this mega...
Yo, she's botting. Yo, mods! She's botting! She's botting subs, mods!
Across multiple dimensions.
Mods!
So I've been exploring,
she's getting like 20 subs a second, mods!
Unlike...
She's actually... Nah, she's botting.
Oh, I'll be back. We're supporting some great charities this month.
This is really sad because it reminds me of Hitman. Remember Hitman, the 2016 one? It had these amazing, you know, full motion video cutscenes. And then in the later videos, the later games, they lost all their budget. I mean, I can show you an example here. Like, you know, all these cutscenes, and the game looked insane. Like, I mean, they look a little bit dated now. That game is nearly 10 years old. Oh my fucking god, that's terrifying. Oh my god, that's an 8-year-old game. This Hitman 3, they just didn't have any money. So there's no actual cutscenes. I mean, there are cutscenes, but they're obviously all done in-game, where it's just the models and stuff. It's not like actual full-motion video cutscenes because they were expensive. So they basically had to save a lot of money. So, yeah, I mean, is there characters talking here?
Do you lose?
We underestimated the Constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
Yeah. I mean, that's not bad, though. That's kind of a step up. It was Hitman 2 that had the worst cutscenes. Hitman 2, it was literally just... Oh, that's right. These were awful. This is because when they tried selling Hitman 1, they tried to sell it episodically, but no one actually... You bought the game, and then each episode was released like every month. So they had no money left. So then when they... Yeah, like, this was all the cutscenes here. It was literally just like... It's just stills that they made, and then they did like a sweeping shot for each one. It sucked. And then they made it a little bit better in Hitman 3, but it was nowhere near as good as the first one, but they just didn't have the money anymore. And that's exactly what's happening here. Like, they've got these great animations and stuff, but they're not getting 3D animations because all of this cutscene probably cost just under or just over $100,000, and an animation of like Hitman 1 tier, like full CG, with all of this going on, full motion, that would probably be millions. Or the best part of $1 million.
Mods, drop the info links. This message is for Deadshot, Floyd Lawton. Hey, Dad, it's me, Zoe, which you know, obviously. So I broke a few rules, but I have very valid reasons, okay? Columbus...
This is like trying to be invested in a South Park character talking. It's 4 different frames on rotation.
Listen, things are spicy and I shouldn't do it alone. So, you know, come pick me up.
Yeah, I don't even mind the character, but it's just... Dude, you could have added any cool character, man. Like, they had the joke. They literally added the Joker and then no one else. You know, they've still got one more season to do, right? Oh my God. Dude, could you imagine if they added Batman of the future? Okay, we know how we're gonna save Suicide Squad, boys. They've added 3 characters, right? Joker, Mrs. Freeze, Lawless. They still have a 4th character they need to do before they move on legally as a requirement for people that bought the special edition. They add Batman of the future. They add him through some weird time warp stuff into the game to be playable. They get the same voice actor. Holy cinema. That would be so good. Oh, it's called It's literally called it. It was called... Wait, I'm not lying. I told you. I wasn't talking up my ass. In the UK, it was called Batman of the Future. I'm not talking... I know it's called Batman Beyond. I know that. Shut up. But when I watched it as a kid, it was called Batman of the Future in the UK. I don't know why. Like in Europe. Not talking up my ass.
Of the stream so you can enjoy it with me and everybody else who is in chat. And I would say enjoy, but I guess it's not really.
I don't know why it was called that. Maybe some weird licensing thing.
The Joker, who was also kind of like the Joker, baby. It wasn't even like a good Joker. At least he was just kind of cringe and like try hard. You know, it's like trying.
I will be honest. I was gonna play through the game as the Joker, but as soon as I found out it wasn't Mark Hamill, immediately dropped. I do feel that Warner Brothers did approach them though, and they were like, "Ooh, could you voice the Joker?" And he was probably just like, "No, Kevin's gone. I don't want to touch that stuff anymore."
Mrs. Freeze, the second playable character, was also just like, it was kind of a needless gender swap in my opinion, and she didn't really do anything that interesting, but more than anything, she was just bored.
She does have a fat ass though. So she gets a pass in my book. Mark said it wouldn't be the same. Mark has literally said in statements that he refuses to voice the Joker anymore because Kevin Conroy died.
Maybe this is all
woke, but holy yeah.
Okay, maybe it's worth it at the end of the day because her interactions with Deadshot are so cool that it's worth having her in the squad. Maybe it gets...
Yeah, because the characters actually talk with each other in game, right? So that'd be kind of interesting to see if there's any kind of banter.
Better is my point. Each season is set up where basically you have to grind through 3 to 10 hours depending on which missions you pick and stuff.
I remember the end game. I made the huge mistake of streaming the Suicide Squad in one sitting. By the way, that was the worst mistake I made in my life. That was like an 8-hour stream, bro. That was awful. Maybe 9 hours, maybe 10 hours. But I remember, like, as soon as you had to go fight Brainiac, you had to grind this made-up currency they just pulled out their ass last minute. That was quite the stream. It was literally mental breakdown stream. I was so close to calling it so many times. You could tell I was done, dude. I was done.
It's by completing the...
I'm assuming that's Deadshot's daughter. Yeah, she literally referred to him as dad. So yeah, it's Deadshot's daughter.
Brainiac fight.
It's a mid-choice. I just don't think they care. It's like, I mean, they probably had these characters in concept for DLC before the game even came out, to be fair.
At the very end.
But none of these, I mean, the only way I'm going to get any appeal is by adding a character that I know, right?
Of that grind.
Again, you add Terry. You had Terry, future Batman. Sorted. That was his name, right? It was Terry. Yes, I got it right. I got it right. If you guys want to deposit Reddit gold to my account, please click on the email in the description. Someone in chat said, oh, my wokeness.
With them. It's a little weird to make it so like the whole season is built around having a new play.
There will genuinely be people that are like, is that a black person in my video game? I just think it's such a boring character. It's like, what if main character, but daughter? Like they could have the Joker's daughter or something. I wouldn't care. They could have added Robin in this, right? You know when the Joker like basically groomed Robin and turned him into a mini Joker? Do you remember that? And then he shot him with the gun and killed Joker. You could have had that Robin as a playable character. I still wouldn't care. I think that'd suck. Joker is a groomer. I mean, he literally kidnapped Robin in one film and he turned him into a mini Joker and brainwashed him.
Average player.
Did he, Robin?
Is that they're going to boot up the game, try season 5, and then they're going to see
Have
this
you read it,
cutscene.
Gold Kind Furry?
Thank you, Chromosexual, for the 10. Appreciate it.
And play out the cartoony one, and then they're going to grind with the same cast they had before: Mrs. Freeze, Joker, Harley, and maybe King Shark. And then they're going to move into the Brainiac fight, which, is there any surprise here? It's a reskin. This here is from Ben Gunn, who's doing the Dark Lord's work by clipping this and uploading it for everybody. And you can see it's just, once again, another fight against Brainiac.
So it's not even anything different. They've literally just had... Oh my god, you gotta be joking. Okay, he's just kind of react-dandying to footage here. So I'm gonna go look at this stuff myself, actually. But I would recommend checking out Luke Stevens because he does do good stuff. Yeah, let's have a look at the fight. Oh, wow. You poor 50-minute video, you poor man. He had to split this. He had to split this into different live streams, dude. I mean, that's kind of cool. They've got like her speaking and it's not just a static radio thing. Like, that's cool. I can't hate on that. So they're saving Green Lantern this season because every season they're saving a hero, basically. They already saved the Flash. Let me skip ahead to like rescue Green Lantern. Yeah, because you found out that like these guys are clones as well. Like all the Avengers are just clones, which is just moronic. So there was never any threat in the first place, so none of them are actually dead. Okay. He's hanging for dear life. I wonder how this cutscene is going to play out as well. Because you could play as anyone here, I'm guessing, right? Any mix of characters. Because you've got the 4 originals, but then you've got Joker and Mrs. Freeze.
To the storm, right? Can I get a hand up? Since we're all working together now?
Do they talk? Please tell me they talk. Wow. Oh, it's so emotionless as well. Like, they're all straight facing. Dude, where's the... Where I get it. It's a skeleton crew. I get it. But that... Man, that's like going into a tavern in Skyrim and just seeing someone drinking a mead. That's rough. Wow. Not a single line of spoken dialogue there, by the way. Not a single line. Not a single line. Painful.
I've made ostensibly better decisions that have landed me in worse places.
They stole this from Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, by the way. Like, if you put up a side-by-side of this and Rift Apart, it looks exactly the same. Oh, yeah, they're in Brainiac's world, right? Because there's always that funny countdown. I'm trying to see, like, where the actual fight is with Brainiac. I want to see how disappointing it is. Okay, they're doing, like, a little side quest to destroy an artillery gun, I think. Brainiac's 6 boss fight. Okay, this is it. This is what people pay money for, and they grind out all the currency. This took this guy, like, 7 streams, by the way, to get this far. And what they seem to do every time is they just recycle the bosses you fought in the main game.
Suicide Squad. I was drawing my studies on this world to a close, but you gave me a reason to stay. I hope you've adjusted your strategy.
Okay, so he literally just turned into Superman and Green Lantern. Great. Wait, hang on. I want to skim through my own video and see what... I want to see... I made 1 point in my video, like... Yeah, I used Luke Stevens again as well. Oh, that's right. You got the Flash. You saved the Flash. And there was just no emotion there whatsoever. I mean, that was actually a pretty good cutscene, to be fair. I'm trying to find the bit of where you see... I can't find it. But I think it was just a reskin of, like, essentially... I think it was a reskin of Green Lantern. What Brainiac is that? Is that Brainiac 6? Okay, Brainiac 5. Yeah, this was a month ago. Let me go. Let me see what Brainiac 5 was.
Simplicity of physical altercations. Instead, I'll crush you with my greatest weapon, my mind. So,
I like how Suicide Squad just stands there, like not even doing anything, because there's no voice actors because they can't afford them.
tell me, Task Force X, what are you really afraid of?
Doesn't he just turn into the Flash again? That fight is like... That's like a 20-minute boss fight, man. That is way too long for anyone to sit through. Wait, I'm just seeing what he transforms into. Oh, it was Green Lantern. So he turned into Green Lantern. And then did he turn into anyone else for the fight? I think it was just Green Lantern. So you fought him as Green Lantern. Yeah, so you fought him as Green Lantern last month, and now you fight him as Green Lantern and Superman. So all they're doing is just adding like another boss on top of it, instead of like a new pattern or anything. Yeah, that's just rough, man.
Your little incursion into this world has proven quite troublesome, but it ends here. I'd like to share my latest research with you. I hope you're ready.
So we just turned into Superman.
I'm your oldest only female fan at the ripe age of 23.
Thank you for permanently altering my brain for the last 10 years and hopefully more to come.
Normal donor. Normal donor. Thank you, Strawberry, for the 10. So he turned into Superman. The Superman fight in the main game was really disappointing, by the way. I like as well how in the main game, Superman was invulnerable. So you had to spend 3/4 of the game to try and get golden kryptonite all over you to weaken him. And now it's just destroy the generator. And then he just transforms into Green Lantern anyway.
I see. The combined powers of two metahumans is insufficient. Very well. Employing new tactics.
Okay, so we just turned into Superman again after saying it wasn't working. Okay, normal. The game was pure padding. I feel bad for the devs. Yeah, because it looked good. It's like that Zookosis game. It's like, that was a good game on paper. And then, like, when it came out, it was just unfinished. But this was padded. I mean, that's the opposite here. This was padded. But it's just, ugh. I feel bad for the devs. And you do need to keep in mind it is a skeleton crew. It's not the main group anymore. They're too busy working on Hogwarts. But man... Can you check current players? I did. It's like just over 200. It's really bad. The thing is that annoys me as well is none of these moves are new. All Brainiac does is copy previous boss fights. So you're not even getting a new experience. It's not a new boss with new abilities. It's just a reskin. It's a self-aware reskin because Brainiac steals other people's powers. Why are they working on Hogwarts DLC? They're working on like a remaster or something. It's weird. Personally, I'm going to put my chips in early here. I think what's going to happen is they've got one more game, one more DLC, right? And then they don't have to do it anymore. I reckon they're going to wrap it up very quickly and you're going to have like a boss rush mode. Or I think what they're going to do is... I still remember when I beat the game on stream and I was like delirious because I was so tired. When Brainiac gets stabbed with the chip in the head, he looks at Luther and he says you, like, surprisingly. So what I think is going to happen is Luther's going to turn around and be like, le bad guy all along, that this was all his idea. He was le mastermind. And it's just going to be like kind of a, it's going to be a complete ending, but Luther's going to get away or something like that. That's what I think is going to happen, personally. Hogwarts Sword. Well, I wonder what it's on now, player count. It's probably more than Suicide, right? Wow. No wonder. Oh, it is going down quite quick, though. I mean, they're still getting 10k a day. That's not bad. Little bit of a downward trend, though. But yeah, compared to 200 players, I would definitely want to jump ship. I don't blame them. What is this, like Mortal Kombat finisher? What is this? Mastery levels are now available for all incursions, and you can replay the Mayhem missions to earn powerful, Notorious Corrupted, and Catwoman Infamy set rewards. Could you imagine beating that whole ass DLC, and then your reward is to do it again, but harder, just to get a care package? Dude, you can even hear Luther doing a deep sigh. He's like, fuck me, are we still doing this? Oh my god, a care package. Oh, what I get? I got a coy smile. A coy smile. What does that do? I don't know. I'm breaking stuff down for materials and XP. Oh my god. Jesus. Actual dead game. Okay, all right. I do want to see the cutscene with Lawless, though. This is where most of the budget would have gone, honestly.
Welcome to Task Force X. Zoe Lawton.
Ugh, here we go.
Okay, so she already put the bomb chip in her head because she touched the iPad to sign it off.
This is low. Even for you, Waller.
Hello? I'm right here? Ugh, that is so like you to go right past me.
Le dad looking out for le child. Le bad because he le ignore le child. Le writing. I know I keep shilling her every time I see her, but like I forget this woman's name, but she's such a good actress though. Legit. She's so... The bits that she was in were like some of the only times playing the main game that I actually laughed.
Zoe is 13 years old. You can't just...
Dad!
She is not 13.
I'm 18. This is my choice, okay?
I like how the crosshair moves on her goggles. That's actually kind of a cool touch.
Your dad's right. You can't go making life-altering decisions like that. I didn't listen to my old man.
Wait, is that the suit you get for getting all the Riddler trophies? Okay, I need to... What is this guy's channel? Batman Arkham Videos. I actually need to salute this guy. He needs like an honorary discount or something, man. Like he needs like first class on a plane for life or something. He needs his own private jet. The fact he ran around this dog shit game collecting all the Riddler trophies, that is insane work. Wait, you buy it?
Have you ever even...
I'm pretty sure he had to find all the trophies to get that.
seen the bomb in your heads? Because I've gone over full schematics, and according to my information, y'all are the ones who let a shady government agency strip you entirely of your rights. You let them inject you with a thing you didn't understand. Like, at all. And you ran headfirst into literally an apocalyptic war zone.
She's making the point how bad it is, but yet she's still got the bomb injected in her head with no qualms. I don't know whether they're going to set up that she's going to be the one that gets it out their head and stuff later, but again, it's like, I don't think... This game's dead, bro.
I thought it was the best way.
Jaden Smith, our speech. I actually saw this TikTok of him like walking out of like a restaurant in Paris, and he's like screaming like, where's my fucking bag? Where's my bag? Just ignoring like all the paparazzi, which is fair, but yeah, he just acted like such a douche. Like it was literally just like the I'm rich because of my dad award. I found it. That's crazy how I found it. Like TikTok search actually clutch. But yeah, he acts like such a douche in this, man. Like, look, watch this.
Where's my fucking bag? Where's my bag?
Come with me.
I like the little snide comment there, Nepo baby final boss. It's funny, whenever you call someone a Nepo baby, they either cope about it or they're like, you know, Dennis Quaid's kid who's Huey in The Boys? He just put his hands up and he's like, yeah, I'm a Nepo baby.
See, this isn't something you can just undo. Like,
Didn't hurt any more than my first tattoo.
you have a tattoo? You have more than one? Girl, you hate needles.
Hope it's not for an ex.
Tattoos are a rite of passage.
Ink's already dry. Colonel Flag.
What is this writing, man? Why are they talking to her like they're family? Like, it's funny because the dad, Deadshot, is more standoffish with her than any of the other characters. And that's probably intentional, but it doesn't come off in a good way at all.
If anyone touched my portable batteries, oh, we're having words.
Oh, I see. Any character you don't pick gets put inside the box. Why do that, though? Surely you just have them, like, walk around. Like, I get it. They're dangerous, but it's like, just let them walk around for the dialogue and the interactions and stuff. Imagine following them around and they just get up to like weird things that you didn't even know about. That'd be cool, instead of just being stuck inside a box. Isn't it weird how the entire game is about saving a dying world, but the game is dead? Oh, what the hell are they going to do? See, I talked about this the last video. Look, you saved the Flash last season. They've saved Green Lantern. You got Superman, Wonder Woman, and then Batman. You have Batman, so you can save him. But the thing is, there's only one more season left of the game that they have to do as an obligation to consumers. Because when you bought the game as the special edition, you got like 3 seasons for free, or 4 seasons. But there's only 1 season left, so what are they going to do? Because any character you save actually has new dialogue. So I'm thinking, do they still have like some Kevin Conroy lines of Batman that they're sat on? Because you can save them all. They don't speak when they're inside the tube, but they do speak in the cutscene when you rescue them. So that makes me think that Rocksteady are sat on like a couple of lines. Could you imagine? They're like the last lines of Kevin Conroy that haven't been released to the public. The game looks boring. I mean, why do you think it has 200 players? They basically had a concept for a AAA game, and then they just padded it out too much, thinking that people would just consume slop. But the problem is now, we're in a generation where people are becoming more critical of games than ever before. Like, it's like, we have never been more cynical and pessimistic and critical of video games. So people just call bullshit out straight away. And this was a really good game if it was shorter. God, that looks so ass. She just floats around. Is that her ability? It sucks. It definitely sucks.
Why so serious?